Hello. Welcome back. Terrific Tuesday to everyone. I hope that your week is going well. And shout out to all my Mississippi family and friends. Welcome to What Makes a Healthy Us Facebook Live. If you would click and share this Facebook Live with others so that they can join us, and like us on Facebook and Instagram so that you don't miss any content. You don't miss any of the fun, okay? Good evening. I am Mieko Paige, and I am with Live the Life, where we help to strengthen marriages and families. And we want you to have healthy relationships. So let's talk about what are the ingredients for a healthy us, okay? Well, we talk about ingredients because it's like baking a cake, okay? So you need the right ingredients for your recipe to turn out the way you want it to. And as an example, if I'm baking a cake and I don't have any baking powder, my cake is going to be dense. It's not going to rise. If I don't have any eggs in my recipe, my cake is not going to be moist. It's going to be dry. So relationally, the right ingredients are goodwill, empathy, humility, and respect. Now, we call these ingredients the essential elements of us. But before we jump in, I want to honor the author of the essential elements of us, and that is Dr. Rick Marks. Thank you, sir. Now, let's start by talking about what is us. Us is the synergy that exists between two people. Every relationship has an us. My husband Christopher and I have a covenant us. I have an us with each one of my children. I have an us with my mom, my dad, my coworkers. You see where I'm going? So every relationship has an us. And the thing about us is you can feel when it's present and you can feel when it's not present. And if you have children in the home, they know when it's present and they know when us is not present. Okay, now let's talk about what are the essential elements of us. Okay, so let's start with goodwill. Goodwill is I want what is best for you. It is kindness. It is understanding how my actions impact you. Now, the attitude of it's all about me, or, I'm not concerned with how you feel or what your feelings are, that's ill will. That is not goodwill, and that is not where we want to be in our relationships. Now, as an important step, there's an important step in becoming a physician, a medical doctor. And medical students have to take the Hippocratic Oath. And one of the promises within the oath is, first, do no harm. So I'm going to say in our relationships that we should not intentionally harm our mates or our friends, our relatives, our children. Do no harm. All right, now let's talk about empathy. If you are familiar with the idiom, most of us are familiar with the idiom, before you judge a man, walk a mile in his shoes. Well, that is a reminder to be empathetic. And basically what you're doing is you're identifying with another's feelings, okay? And this comes easier for some than others, but let me encourage you, you can learn how to be empathetic. You don't have to agree with someone to show them empathy. As an example, if my husband is upset with me, I don't have to agree with why he's upset with me to identify with the fact that he's either angry or frustrated. I can identify with those emotions so I can put myself in his shoes in that regard without having to agree with why he's feeling the way he is. It's very powerful when you can identify and connect with the emotion that the person is feeling, because they're going to feel valued and heard. Now, having said that, listening is a major key to showing empathy. And I talk a little bit more about that in the Healthy Communications Facebook Live that is recorded and saved on our Facebook page. You can go back and watch it from several weeks ago. Third, let's talk about humility. Now, humility is not thinking too highly of yourself. You have the proper perspective of yourself. You're not proud or arrogant, because that is the opposite of humility. And humble people can share their strengths, but they can also share their weaknesses and let you know what those are. Humility is a doing thing. It's not a feeling thing. It's not, I feel humble. No, you act humbly. So one of the greatest examples of humility is Jesus Christ. He washed the feet of his disciples during the Last Supper. Now, let me just say, they wore sandals back then, and they had to walk everywhere. So their feet were really, really dirty. So here we have the Son of God, the creator of all things, showing us that there is nothing he was not above doing to serve those that he loved. Do we take that posture in our relationships? I can remember years ago, in the early years of our marriage, being at events, and I would see ladies, wives, preparing their husbands' plates and serving them. And I thought, well, that's kind of archaic, and, he could get his own food. Why do I have to get it and serve it? So, that was kind of my thought. Well, years later, I realized that one of the things that my husband would love that I would do to serve him is to prepare his food, especially if he's tired, to be able to love him in that way. And so I realized that the attitude that I had before was one of pride, which is the opposite of humility. So what are you willing to do to serve those that you love? That is humility. All right. Now, the fourth element or essential is respect. Respect is valuing another human being, okay? It is to honor or show favor toward someone. I want to make sure that I am honoring and respecting my husband with my words and my actions. So being controlling and manipulative is not showing respect. And I didn't realize that that was part of the way I came across. I could be rather controlling and manipulative. And so that wasn't respectful in my relationship with my spouse. So this is something that I had to learn in my journey as a wife along the way. In addition to that, understanding and being aware of my tone, because love has a tone. My words were right many times, but sometimes my tone was a little cutting, if you know what I mean. And so we have to understand that our words and our tone matter, and it also exhibits respect. Now, there may be things that come across as disrespectful to your mate that you may have no idea comes across as disrespectful. I encourage you to just, ask, what are some things that I do that maybe come across as disrespectful, because we don't want to be sending that message to the people that we love. You may ask, well, Mieko, what if I don't feel like showing goodwill, empathy, humility, or respect? Or what if my mate is not treating me with goodwill, empathy, humility, and respect. You know, what do I do? Well, I can tell you I've been married for 21 years and I totally get it. And I'm going to encourage you to choose. Choose to be an emotionally mature adult by treating them the way that you would want to be treated. Now, I am not, and having said that, it's saying I'm not going to do to you what you did to me. I'm going to choose to do what is right, even if you don't make that choice. Yes, that is hard, but you can do it, and your us is worth it. Plus, it honors our Heavenly Father. And I can't tell you how many times I have chosen going against my feelings, but made an intentional choice to honor my mate and trust God. And He never failed me. Now, you see, one person can change the climate of their us. So I've got a daughter, my oldest daughter, and I seem to butt heads quite a bit. And I didn't really understand why. I didn't have those challenges with my other two children like I had with her. And one of the things I realized was, first, our personalities were the same. We're the two strong personalities in the household. So that was part of the issue. But the other part of that was I was being disrespectful and I wasn't being empathetic. When she would come to me, depending on what the subject or situation was, I would cut her off or shut her down. I wouldn't identify or connect with her emotions and show empathy. And man, when God revealed that to me, I was like, wow. So I made the adjustment. She is still a teenager. Frontal lobe is still undeveloped. But I made the shift, and let me tell you, our relationship has never been better. So you can alter the climate in your relationship. It won't always be easy, but I promise you it will be worth it. Be the thermostat and not the thermometer. Marinate on that, okay? Now, this content is just a little appetizer of what we share in our virtual Adventures in Marriage class. I am so excited to announce that we're going to host I'm going to host another class beginning June 2nd. You can go to our Facebook page to register. Also, did you know that conflict is normal in every relationship? Yes, that's right. As long as you are breathing in any sort of relationship, conflict is normal. Well, if you join my husband and I next Tuesday, the 26th, we're going to talk about it. So see you here next Tuesday, 8 o'clock p.m. In the meantime, show goodwill, empathy, humility, and respect in all of your relationships. Be safe and love well.